All Blacks 71 points to 9 victors over Namibia. That's a pretty big scoreline, but I would say it's a game of two halves. If you guys haven't seen the game, I'll go through some of the key plays, but you guys should definitely check out the highlights because there's a few moments of magic and some very good work done by the Namibians in this game. One where they can hold their heads high, especially for that first half performance. All Blacks kind of kept in check to a degree during that first half and really piled some points on in the second. So yeah, I'll go over the key plays, some of the key stats, some thoughts, and you guys can let me know yours at the end. So Namibia take the lead early. They get a penalty, 3-0, Namibia in front, but it's not for long because Reece gets the first try. Jordie Barrett cross kick after a line-out move. 5 points to 3, the conversion's missed. 13 minutes, Namibia, the lock. Gets a big line break. They're on the attack. They can't quite convert. The All Blacks get a turnover. But it's exciting stuff. The crowd's getting into it. Unfortunately, a few minutes later, that lock for Namibia, Van Liel, actually went off injured. So he had his moment of glory out in the open and then went off. So pity for him. 20 minutes, though. ALB gets a try. Savia draws some defenders. ALB's still got a bit of work to do, but he gets over the line. He got a good fend on him. Jordie Barrett's conversion gets charged down. Enough hand on the ball to divert it from going to the sticks. So, yeah, it's 10-3. Namibia get 2 penalties. So 10-6 and then 10-9. So it's 1 point to the All Blacks after almost half an hour, which I think almost none of us would have expected. But then 30 minutes, Laulala gets a yellow card. It's a swinging arm to kind of the neck area of the Namibian guy, head or neck. And yeah, I made the mistake of looking on Twitter after that one because it's already got the internet divided into two camps, like every refereeing decision these days. Those who are saying the guy's dirty, he's a typical All Black getting off scot-free, swinging arm, dangerous play. Other people saying yellow card's too harsh. He was virtually like at knee height when he got hit. And if you're at knee height and that's still a high shot, then what's the game coming to? So, I mean, the guy was falling. The Namibian guy was literally falling into the ground. But there was a swinging arm which came around and hit him high. So the application of the laws, I think, was probably applied correctly. But yeah, it is hard. I mean, when the guy's that low, what do you do? A swinging arm, probably not the right answer. But I don't know how many seconds he would have had to pull out. They slow it down that much. It's really hard to see. By the time Laulala realized that guy was going into the dirt, did he have any time to, like, you'd have to get a scientist to tell you how many milliseconds there was and how much reaction time you get to actually stop and just pull out of the tackle and just grab him because he's already on the ground by his own motion. So, I don't know. Either way, there was a yellow card. It didn't seem to make much difference, though, because Ta'avao got a try in 35 minutes. The All Blacks went through a whole bunch of phases, made it 17 points to 9, and then like 4 minutes after the hooter had gone for halftime, Ben Smith gets a try again. All Blacks have got a few advantages after a few scrums, and the try is converted. So it's 24-9 at halftime. You still give the moral victory to Namibia in that first half. Nobody expected, I think, it to be that close at halftime. The All Blacks were pushing it to get that final try, so Namibia did really well to be within a point for such a long time. Halftime stats: run meters 277 to 162 in favor of the All Blacks. Possession and territory. Possession was pretty even, but territory was almost 60% to the All Blacks. Tackling percentage: All Blacks at 91, so the defense was holding. It was just the kicks that they were conceding. And yeah, Namibia was a bit lower at 75, but still against the All Blacks. Sometimes it's hard to defend. Penalty count was 6 apiece. Second half, All Blacks come out of the blocks firing. Moody gets a try in like 41 minutes. They just were slowly building up, basically, and they scored a very All Blacks try. 31-9. ALB gets a second on 46 minutes. There was a Jordie Barrett line break in the build-up. At one point, he ran into an All Blacks guy, which is not usually a good sign if you're using kind of someone as a blocker, but there were no Namibian guys anywhere near them, so it didn't matter. And yeah, they go through for the try, so 38 points to 9. 51, Reece gets another try. He cuts back after a Savia pass, 45-9. Sam Whitelock gets a try on 55, and this is one of those moments where the All Blacks are just going kind of bang, 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 try. Base of the post try, 5+ phases, 52-9. And not long after that, Daisel Namibian captain, he went off with an arm injury, which is again unfortunate that they lose guys in an already tough game. 64 minutes, Namibia go 13 plus phases, but they just can't quite break down the All Blacks defense, but they're not giving up. They're still fighting, which is a credit to their team spirit. 67 minutes, Ben Smith gets another try, and Tom Leonard-Brown with the try assist, and Todd, good play in the build-up. He was a pretty impactful sub, which is good. 72 minutes, the All Blacks get another yellow card. This time it's Tuangafasi. Again, it's kind of a high arm, but again, it's on a falling player, so the same argument kind of applies for that one. But still, 75 minutes, Geordie Barrett gets a try. Namibia lose their own line out, and about after one ruck, the All Blacks go over for a try. 66-9. And then 78 minutes, 79, Perenara gets a try, and that one was a thing of beauty. Definitely looking at the highlights if you haven't seen them when World Rugby uploads them. There was Brad Weber with a behind-the-back pass, and Perenara with a rugby league style Superman dive, one-handed in the corner just inside the line. Rico Ioane had an offload in the build-up. So did TJ, actually. He offloaded, got up the ground, and still ran a support line enough to score the try. So 71-9, and they scored 12 points in that second yellow card period. So All Blacks just too good. But again, the Namibia gave them a good game in periods. So when you're playing one of the best teams in the world, you've got to lift, and they did it. But sometimes the All Blacks were just too good and piled on the points. But still, no one's going to be laughing at them for that because, man, half an hour, 1 point in a lot of teams higher ranked than Namibia can't claim that. Final stats get pretty lopsided. 783 to 284 is the run meters. Possession 55 New Zealand, 57 territory. Tackling New Zealand still 89, so pretty high. Namibia down to 72, but still that's not terrible, although 71 points. But interestingly, New Zealand made 108 tackles. Namibia made 105. So New Zealand did more tackling. Their tackle percentage was higher. So Namibia were asked to make more with 145 to the All Blacks 121. But still, they still made the All Blacks work for it at times, which is the point I'm trying to make. Penalties conceded 8 to 7, so not many in the second half, which was good to see. Offloads 26 to 13. So All Blacks really with a big offload game. ALB, man of the match, like I said, 106 run meters, 9 defenders beaten, 2 tries and a try assist. Big game from him. Frizzell had 15 out of 16 tackles, which was top stuff. Galseb for Namibia made 21 out of 26 tackles, so he missed 5. But any guy who makes more than 20 tackles in a game deserves a shout out, so good effort from him. Interestingly, Goodhue's mullet was just in glorious form. And interestingly, also, Adi Savia opted not to go with the goggles today. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. They made a very big deal about it the other day, but then no goggles for this one, so not quite sure what's happening. 71 points to 9 overall. I think All Blacks will take that. Looking in good form for the pool. Short turnaround for that one. Much change. Geordie Barrett at 10. Did pretty good, didn't he? Missed a couple of conversions early where one was charged down, but apart from that, definitely a pass mark. Again, Namibia, good throughout periods of the game, but ultimately it was always going to be a bit of a bridge too far. So, yeah. You guys let me know your thoughts on this one, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.